So every now and then I get asked the question, where does the NHL put Team 32? So I just did a quick scouring of various American markets that do not have a hockey team. And I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out where I think it could work. And this is by population. So Houston has the largest population, then San Antonio, San Diego, Austin, Seattle, Portland, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Cleveland. This is the city's population. This is not taking into account the surrounding metro area. So if you're looking at that and going, wait a minute, my city's bigger than that city. Yeah, the metro area maybe. I just for giggles, I'm doing it this way. TV market. The interesting thing is Houston's got the largest population and the largest TV market out of these 9 cities. And they're number 5 in an essay article about whether or not hockey could work there. Hockey has a decent foothold in Houston. They were in the WHA. They've had American Hockey League. I'm pretty sure Houston was in the International Hockey League in the late 90s as well. Houston has a decent grassroots hockey following. And that's important if you're going to expand into another city. Houston also has the natural rivalry with Dallas, and they'd fit right into that division. They'd be team 8 in that division, and it's perfect. You don't need to move anybody. There's no, this team's got to move this team. No, everybody stays in their divisions. Everything stays as it is. Houston, for my money, is one of the front runners. They'd have to be. San Antonio, large population, TV market, 6th out of the 9 teams on this board. The SI article had them ahead of Houston. And San Antonio's had a decent following for minor league hockey as well. Texas, in general, has had a very good support of minor league hockey. And it's not just at the American Hockey League level, it's further down as well. I believe it's the Central Hockey League, or it's the U.S. Hockey League that has teams in Texas. And they've been there for a while, so it has to be doing relatively well. San Antonio, for my money, I don't think it's as sexy a pick. I think Houston would get the bid before San Antonio. San Diego. Yeah, I'm wearing a Chargers jersey because I'm, kind of bummed that they're in LA. And I got a Chargers jersey today from Full Moon Jerseys. What a surprise. They also sell NFL. It's not just NHL. And I wanted Chargers, and Yvonne finally relented because I just bought it. San Diego's got the 3rd in population, 5th in TV market, and they were 4th in the Sports Illustrated article. San Diego would be interesting because it would be another team in California. And teams in California do well. Surprisingly to some, they do well. You have a large population there anyways. San Diego, you might have an issue drawing enough fans to stay. I think of the 3 I've talked about so far, I think San Diego would struggle the most. I know the San Diego Gulls were a decent team at one point. And San Diego supported them, but we'll see. Austin, Texas is 4th. They're the 9th biggest TV market. They were not in the SI article. I don't see Austin being on the map at all. Austin, Texas, though, it's weird because anybody I've talked to from Texas, when I've talked about if I came down to Texas, where should I go, they immediately mention Austin. They're like, Austin is this beautiful oasis in the middle of Texas. Seattle is 5th in population. Again, this is metro population. I'm talking about the actual surrounding area. Number 2 in TV market, and they're number 1 in the SI article. They've supported minor league hockey for decades. The city of Seattle, I believe, can support hockey. And if Seattle got an NHL team, it would generate interest in the rest of the state of Washington. I've talked about it before. As soon as I cross the border, nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows hockey. There'll be a couple of hockey fans here and there, or guys who recognize where my jerseys are from. But in general, Seattle's just not... Well, I can't say Seattle, because I don't have enough time in the city to say for sure. But it definitely in the rural areas, there's no hockey fans that I can tell. Unless they're WHL fans, and they just look and go, well, I don't know what that is. It's NHL. But anyways, I move on. Portland Portland is 6th in population, 4th in TV market, and ranked 2nd on the SI article. Here's the thing. So you got Seattle, and you head a few hours south, you got Portland. The NHL goes to one or the other. It does not go to both. At no point could I see a team in both locations. Could it work? Absolutely. And for Vancouver, if the Vancouver Canucks had Seattle and Portland in their division, they'd suddenly feel like they were on the East Coast. Because they're close enough that a flight to Portland or to Seattle would not be a big, difficult, arduous travel issue. But I think Portland's behind Seattle. I think Seattle's what the NHL wants. Milwaukee, and people talk about Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 7th in population, 8th in TV market. They were not rated in the SI article. I don't know that Milwaukee is a location that the NHL would expand to. I think if Milwaukee got a team, it would be relocation. I don't think it'd be expansion. Like, look at Vegas. Vegas is this big, flashy, here's a brand new team, brand new, flashy area for us to talk about. Seattle would be bright, and Houston. Milwaukee doesn't have that luster, and it's not anything against Milwaukee. It's just Houston, Seattle, Vegas. These are big, major hubs. Kansas City, 8th in population, 7th in TV market, and ranked 6th. They're ranked 6th by SI because they have an NHL-ready arena, and they've had an NHL-ready arena for a while. This is not news. They've had it for a while. They don't have an owner. And without an owner, I can't project Kansas City into the league. The other one on the list is Cleveland. Cleveland is 9th in population, 3rd in TV market. So they have that surrounding area. Cleveland, I would put on the maybe list. Because the question becomes, if they're in the league and Columbus is in the league, do they dare put them in separate conferences and not play each other? Or do you put Columbus and Cleveland together in the East and then make one of the Eastern teams angry by sticking them in the West? And Detroit was angry for a long time about being in the West. They were not a fan of being in the West. They did not envision themselves as being a Western team. I know Columbus didn't either. They were very happy to get into the East. So, between the two, I think it's between Houston and Seattle. I think the NHL ultimately wants Seattle. I think Seattle City Council is going to make that decision. I think the ownership group that wants a team in Seattle is going to drive it. But honestly, all you need is one very well-to-do man with a lot of money and deep pockets to come out and say, I'm going to put a team in Houston. And I think the NHL will jump on it right now. Houston to me makes a lot of sense. And Seattle, I don't know. But I think Houston makes a lot of sense. Because you've got that natural rivalry with Dallas. I think you could create... and for, like, draft... and for award shows, Houston's down on the ocean. We're finding out right now that that's potentially a drawback with hurricanes and whatnot. But it's absolutely gorgeous the rest of the time. Seattle's gorgeous too. Seattle is the crown jewel of the Pacific Northwest. But it rains a lot. And Houston, outside of the hurricanes, which are rare, I just, to me, it feels like if Seattle's ownership is able to get a building that works, they can use Key Arena for now, but it's not an NHL arena for the next 10 years. You don't look at that arena and go, oh, the NHL can be here forever. If they can get that arena built, Seattle gets that team. But for my money, Houston has to be on the radar because they're number one in terms of metro population. They're the number one TV market. And the NHL really greatly desires the TV market. That's why they went back to Atlanta. That's why Atlanta got another shot. And I don't have Atlanta on this list because they've had 2 shots. But Atlanta hits these marks. The population and TV market, Atlanta absolutely hits these marks. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And again, this is just fun speculation. Who's going to be Team 32? Let me know your pick. Let me know why. And hopefully the discussion remains professional. Thanks for behaving. Thanks for being awesome. And I'll talk to you again soon.